Welcome to my slideshow this year. First, let me explain the schedule. We will start with some results from my colleague Thomas Meyer's photo shoots, who is also present here today. Then, I will show some photos that I have shot myself, along with a small quiz question about one of them, which will demonstrate that practically everyone has memory problems. After that, I will present photos from my colleagues from all over the world. I'm sure you will find these insights into other countries and cultures as fascinating as I do. Finally, after which you can leave or stay to watch my revised last slideshow if interested, I will show some recent videos I've taken. Be excited. I have included some informative text with these, which I find more meaningful than talking about technology. The best camera is the one you have with you is a valuable quote from Elliot Erwitt, the former president of Magnum Photos. And worldwide, more people have a camera in the form of a smartphone than a toothbrush. Okay, brushing your teeth is important for physical health. But consciously carrying a camera with you is good for mental health because it trains you to see the interesting things around us. And, unfortunately, war is currently a big issue. A long time ago, a reflex camera intercepted a bullet, and in the current crisis, a smartphone saved a Ukrainian's life. Thomas Meyer likes to combine photography with body painting. The photo of the week that Film presented on Instagram at the beginning of my rehab, was taken by me. I was also very pleased with the following appreciative text: "It's starting, people. First indications suggest the beginning of spring." We were recently sent a particularly aesthetic proof photo. The photographer has discovered the early bloomers in the northern part of Zhejiang on the edge of a sidewalk with a watchful eye and photographed them in a great detail. In addition, the colors of spring were wonderfully reinterpreted by the choice of film. I hope you like my other photos too. Now for the quiz question. Please imagine the world-famous VW logo in your mind's eye. In reality, there is a line between the V and the W. The Star Wars movie The Empire Strikes Back was voted as the greatest movie of all time in a poll. Most people who have seen this movie are convinced that Darth Vader says, "Luke, I am your father" in it. In reality, he says no. Instead of Luke. Listen for yourself. No, I am your father.
To conclude, I would like to show videos of the Jewish cemetery in the Rhine Falls. These two things may seem unrelated, but unfortunately, the Nazis' treatment of Jews was a major failure. The reason for this was Hitler's reliance, Rhine Fall, on the Protocols of the Elders of Zion, which purported to reveal the evil plans of a Jewish world conspiracy. However, these protocols were a forgery invented by anti-Semites to discredit and persecute Jews. But what can we learn from this dark chapter of history? How can we prevent such tragic events from happening again? Let us move away from this dark history and focus on something positive. As a take-home message, I want to show that Judaism has actually brought us a lot of good. I would like to point out an interesting mathematical theory called game theory, which models strategic decisions and has shown that the eye for an eye strategy of the Jews is a successful strategy for limiting violence and promoting cooperation. Starting an interaction cooperatively ensures that mutual aid remains constant if both parties apply this strategy. However, if one party mistakenly believes that the other has treated them poorly, the eye for an eye strategy leads them to retaliate against this perceived wrongdoing, which the other party will then retaliate against, creating a vicious cycle. One of the most famous Jews was Jesus, highly respected by many Muslims, Hindus, and other people, who recommended forgiveness as a solution to break the cycle of violence and retaliation. Game theory, whose scientific findings helped prevent a nuclear apocalypse during the Cold War, also shows that forgiveness can be successful in strategic decision-making processes. There are numerous examples that cooperation in evolution is a bigger factor than fighting each other. The scientific findings on mutual aid were first formulated by the Russian Kropotkin, who developed the ideas of the then university rector in St. Petersburg, Kessler. These theses later found appreciation in America through game theorists such as Axelrod. The Jewish recommendations, on the other hand, are ancient, but were not scientifically substantiated at the time. Kropotkin's thesis on mutual aid was later confirmed by computer simulations but did not receive adequate dissemination because Kropotkin advocated for a violence-free and power-free society. The ideas he developed over 100 years ago are still relevant today.
And who knows, perhaps thanks to the scientific findings just described in the philosophy of Judaism, refined by one of the most famous Jews, we can soon create a world where the Rhine Fall of the past does not repeat itself, but the Rhine Falls becomes a symbol of cooperation and mutual aid. Whether one chooses to leave with a philosophy of mutual aid in their hearts, currently, peace is a great need for many, or if one also wants to see my slideshow from last year, it is up to each individual. Based on feedback, I have improved it and am grateful for any feedback this time as well. Thank you for your attention.